you doing, Jersey? Welcome to the Star Ledger Newsroom, Monday, November 24th. Well, more bad news for the city of Camden. This morning, the city is working its way back up the list of the nation's most crime-ridden cities. A new study puts it at number 2 among the nation's most dangerous places to live, behind only New Orleans. This is a study done by CQ, which is an academic journal, and at one point they had put Camden down 4th and 5th place on the list a few years back, but it seems to be working its way back up. Now, they also put Trenton and Newark also in the top 30. Now, keep in mind, they only ranked towns with more than 75,000 people. Not all bad news for New Jersey, though. Towns like Toms River, Edison, Woodbridge, and Hamilton all were ranked among the safest places to live. For more on that, check out the news blog at NJ.com. All right? All across New Jersey in these tough economic times, people who are serving and feeding the needy are saying the same thing. Donations are down and demand is way up. That is not stopping the woman known as Sister Jean in Atlantic City from going about her business of feeding the needy. Really, I don't think anything would stop this woman. She spent 2 weeks in a coma this past summer, and look at her now.
In the shadows of the Trump Taj Mahal Casino in Atlantic City, the often homeless and hungry are filing into the First Presbyterian Church. The hot meal they will receive is all made possible by the kindness and generosity of Sister Jean Webster.
28 years ago, October the 5th, I seen a young Italian guy eating out the garbage can and asked him why he was doing that. He said because he was hungry. I said, put the stuff back, it's nasty. He said, I don't care, nobody cares. I said, I care.
Since then, Sister Jean has fed hundreds of people daily.
I feed between 320 and 350 for breakfast alone. And then lunch a little over 800, 7, something like that.
I think it takes a certain character person to be able to do what she's doing. I love her. It takes a lot of talent. It takes a lot of patience to do what she does.
But before anyone eats, a short service is attended by all.
Quiet! Let's stand for prayer. Stand. If you got 2 legs, stand.
The struggling economy and the rising jobless rate is making it more difficult for Sister Jean, as well as local food banks.
It's just rough now. People getting laid off. That's why I'm getting more and more people. Really need donation. Thanksgiving coming up. I really need it bad. I've been, a little penny I get of my own, I've been using it to buy different stuff.
She's very fortunate. She loves people through Jesus Christ. She's very Christian. She's very emotional. And she's always there to help. She never misses a second.
I can't let them stay out there in the cold, in the snow, the rain. I'm not going to do that. They're not dogs. And I'm not going to treat them like dogs. They're my guests. We serve them. Anybody walks through these doors going to get fed. Anybody. My business is to feed them.
All right, we've got a new chief opinionator here at the Star Ledger, the guy whose job it is to receive all of the angry mail that people send in and come up with the editorial stances of the paper. Longtime columnist John Farmer has been named Editorial Page editor. Reporter Kelly Habor sat down with him to talk about the changes and his new gig. Check it out.
The editorials over the past 8 years have been largely liberal, but that's as much a function of events as it is of any internal inclination in the paper. And largely it's been a reaction to the record of the Bush administration. He hasn't given us much to cheer. We supported him quite enthusiastically after 9/11, but as the record of the Bush administration has unfolded, we've been pretty critical.
How about you personally? Are you a Democrat or a Republican?
I guess an agnostic would be the best way to describe me. I think it's unwise to give either party a blank check with your vote, because over the long haul, I don't see either the Democrats or the Republicans consistently representing the interests of the general public. They're too beholden to the special interests that make up their base.
All right, that was a snippet from a longer interview. For the whole thing, go to NJvoices.com. That's where our opinions, columns, and editorials are posted. And there are already quite a few comments pouring in on the appointment of John Farmer to the new post. All right, it was a huge weekend for New Jersey's football teams, the New Jersey Jets and the New Jersey Giants, and I'll keep calling them that no matter what. Our columnist Steve Politi writes today, it's kind of hard not to think of what could be a Giants-Jets Super Bowl, maybe. Our guys were in Phoenix after the Giants' big win last night, and they got this recap. Check it out.
Mike Garofalo for the Star-Ledger, University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale. This time, no Politi, no Jenny, and no confetti. With me, though, honorary NJ.comer for the day, Ken Palmer. We just replaced you, or Jenny with you, one Penn Stater for another.
Yeah.
And congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much.
So we'll start talking, obviously, about Jay Alford, because what else is there to talk about, right? No. We'll talk about what seems to be the class of the NFC here in the Giants, and what they did to really extend their lead here. I mean, they got a hammer lock on this thing right now.
Yeah, they'd have to try really hard to screw it up at this point. I mean, they've got a 2-game lead on their closest competitors. They play Carolina. They looked awful today, Carolina. You know, you saw what the Giants did to Arizona. Tampa's another threat, but they're not really a threat. I mean, this team is clearly going to have that bye after the season, and they're going to have home field throughout.
And I keep saying, I just don't know how this team continues to motivate itself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing to come out and to defend the title and to play well off the bat, but to get into games like this, challenges like this against teams that should be good and teams that, you know, different kind of teams. They went from playing the Ravens, who were going to be a smash mouth game, to these guys who should have thrown all over the field on them. And they're ready for both challenges, and they handle it easily.
Yeah, Coughlin says it. I mean, it's boring, but they do this one game at a time thing better than anybody. They do the one play at a time thing better than anybody, and that's it. I think they're really buying into the whole, you know, they got the target on their back. They won it last year. Yeah. They're the best team right now, hands down, so they know they're going to get everybody's good shot. They were still embarrassed over that Cleveland game. It was just one loss. They're 10-1 now, but you could tell they're mad about that. They're really upset they lost that game, so I think that's why they put themselves in position to not let it happen again.
All right, for more of that video, you can check out NJ.com/Giants. Jets fans, you can find your recaps at NJ.com/Jets. And of course, Steve Politi's column in which he daydreams about the Jets-Giants Super Bowl is drawing a lot of comments from people. Let's take a look at one of those now. DN Ecower says, it would be fun to see what would happen if both the Giants and Jets had home field throughout the playoffs. Imagine that, Giants and Jets both playing at Giant Stadium would be a headache for the organizers and for the Sports and Exposition Authority. Now, apparently we understand that they cannot play a doubleheader. You can't have 2 football games in the same stadium on the same day. It just wouldn't work logistically, so a lot of juggling between the networks and the NFL and the teams and the stadium, if that were to come to pass, and let's hope it does. All right. That wraps up Ledger Live for today. Keep in touch. Send us your photos, videos, emails. Shoot them to us at ledgerlive@starledger.com. And you can always log on and sound off on the news blogs at NJ.com. All right, Jersey, take it easy.